Okay, as I pressed the wrong buttons, we're back. Do you see any games on the horizon before I play this thing and waste a bunch of time?
No.
Oh man, Curious playing versus Classic and we're not casting it. Oh, it feels so fucking bad. But it's better than have sitting around for like 40 minutes. Plus, actually, I'm glad we cast Zest versus Natural, even though that was very one-sided. It shows me where Zest is at right now. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I have the biggest bias against Zest. I feel like he's really dropped the ball for the entire year. He is absolutely on the upswing. I recognize this, and it's a good thing. But Zest, up to the last like month, has been kind of like a... I don't know, man. Not even a player worth talking about, in my honest opinion. So... I'm glad we cast that game. I'm glad we got to see him with such good control too, because I know for sure he's like on the ball today. And of course he'll be in one of the two semifinals, going up against either aLive or Impact. But I guess we'll show off the... I put a lot of memes in this, guys. Like the video on YouTube is actually not public yet, but it's literally titled Catalina the Meme Cool. Okay, so here's here's the look at it. We'll see you guys in a few secs. Then, while we're doing intros, I guess I'll show off Mech Depot, because I'm actually really proud. I like the way this one turned out quite a bit. So here's what the new Mech Depot one looks like. We're waiting. And then last but not least of the ones we have, this is, it didn't need to be remade. Here's the Bizzle refund. You guys have seen it before, but we'll just play it because fuck it.
The first bean is always greener in somebody else's base. You dream about blowing up theirs, but they have a real good race. Just look at the map around you, right here on Abyssal Reef. As ultras and links surround you, so make like a tree and leave under the sea. Typing GG, darling, it's better typing those letters. Take it from me.
Anyway, so those are just some of the intros we have for this season ready to go, but it is, of course, a matter of finishing them all up before we start using them. And I gotta think of a new way to do the Acolyte one, man. Because like the thing is, even if I keep the anime meme version for once in a while, it's still like a minute long. It's twice the length of all the other intros.
Yeah, it's pretty lengthy.
Yeah, I hear that a lot.
Yeah. I want to ask a question, but I also don't.
Yeah, like, is it girthy? Like, is it just lengthy?
I was gonna say, like, do you know, is it?
Ain't nobody but that pencil dick life. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, like, which one's better? I don't know.
Well, we're in a game, Impact versus aLive. Do we know what score currently is?
No idea.
Cool.
1-0.
All right, 1-0 for aLive.
Cool.
Cool.
So, Impact did take out Neeb. That seems to happen a lot. I feel like it's Impact taking out Neeb, because I always, in my mind, gave Neeb the win, because Neeb's been playing pretty well. And then Impact would beat him, and I'd be like, oh, okay. So that's why I was on point about calling Impact to the round of 8, but maybe even to the semifinals. I was down 1 here, but aLive wasn't playing that well.
Oh, let's get you to reboot Discord real quick. But okay, we are loading into game. It is not the first game in the series. Yes, welcome back. We are joining midway through because we didn't want to sit around waiting, doing nothing. So, a little bit of bonus StarCraft for you guys. You're watching the Olimoleague still, and spawning here in the top left, down a game at the moment. It is Impact.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran. He's alive.
But for now...
Yeah, he's alive and kicking, but his kicking ain't as strong as it once was.
By the way, I'm glad to see our demographic of a slightly older audience hold strong. All the people recognizing the Metal Slug references in Mech Depot. I was kind of a little bit worried this would go underappreciated because Metal Slug is kind of an older game at this point. I actually don't know that a lot of people have played it. Not it.
GSL.
China.
I guess they're doomed.
Yeah, it sucks when you get internet problems happening like this. I had that week where this kept happening, and the players like started not wanting to invite me to the game, and I felt really awful about it. So hopefully they get their issues resolved and it doesn't get that bad for them.
Of the little face they're making.
The Catalina wine mixer. I don't understand that reference, assuming that is one.
I didn't read that word as Catalina, but now I understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah, it took me a moment to figure out. I just saw wine mixer. That's okay, 2 and 2.
Oh boy.
Oh man, please use the Monkey Island theme as what. Man, Monkey Island was the shit. I'll tell you what, guys, they ever put a pirate theme map in the game, I got the Monkey Island jam ready to go.
I cannot say I played that one.
You don't know Guybrush Threepwood?
I don't.
What about the famous pirate LeChuck?
I don't.
No, Zombie Grub.
I'm sorry.
I don't know. I don't know what's worse. Not knowing the Curse of Monkey Island. Hey look, a 3-headed monkey. Or disliking Monty Python.
Let chat decide. Pretty sure they'll say disliking Monty Python. I talk to people that like say they love this movie and that I can't believe you don't like it, and then I'm just like, how many times have you seen it? And most people
Actually,
I feel like they say like once or twice.
I will concede that the Curse of Monkey Island is nowhere near as popular as Monty Python, right? Like, so there's definitely different audience sizes here, but man, that's for me one of those games I grew up with. Like, I grew up with Curse of Monkey Island, Putt Putt, fucking Jazz Jackrabbit. I'm not sure if any of these names are ringing bells to anybody else, but like, those were Halloween Harry. Those were my games growing up. So for me, it's like.
PC games?
Pardon me?
Were these PC games?
Yeah.
Oh, there's a difference.
I had several on the floppy disk.
Yeah. There's a bit of an age difference between me and Rifkin, but like not so much that I wouldn't know the games that he plays unless we were playing on different platforms, which officially I guess we were, because I didn't play on the PC for a very long time.
Oh really? I didn't actually know that about you.
Console. No, the only games I had on PC were like the Mac games that I played every now and then. So it was like Oregon Trail,
Math Blaster.
Yeah, Math Blaster. Sure, that was in school though, to be honest.
Yeah,
but
no,
Math
Blaster was fun. It made learning fun.
And Carnival, I think it was called. It was literally just a Carnival builder. It was the only PC games I played until like 2008 or something. Well, until WoW, actually, I guess is a actually better way to put it. Until WoW. So, yeah. That would be the big difference, because I did remember Monkey Island like advertisements, but I also was like, wait a second, that was a PC game, wasn't it? See, I'm no longer on the console hype train, so I'm not really gung ho about console master race type shit.
I was actually I'm thinking on as you bring this up too, and guys, there's pretty normal stuff happening. I'm actually really curious if aLive will go for the Banshee fake out that we've been seeing Cure do. Otherwise, this is pretty standard stuff. But I was just gonna mention, I think I've always been pro PC over everything else for the majority of my life. But now that I think about it, like I was definitely playing a lot more Dreamcast and stuff, like Sonic Adventure and Crazy Taxi, than I was like Warcraft 3, for example.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't playing any of the hardcore games that would be pretty historic. I mean, I played StarCraft on N64, but that was it. I'm
gonna click a link. It's a risky click coming out of Diet Soda. The Secret of Monkey Island theme song. Yeah, dude. I can't play that on stream right now, but yeah, dude. It's so catchy. I can't even mimic it without hearing it, so forget I did that, guys. But anyways, the Vikings gonna get 2 Overlord kills, which is nice. Lings won't be a problem thanks to the amount of Hellions, and with a 3rd CC on the way, in a very funny location, I'll add. aLive is pretty much set for his opener. I actually really like the way this has gone for him so far.
Yeah, I like his 3rd CC location because it's like, I should have maybe tried putting out on the front line a wall off a little bit faster, but also I'm not taking that chance. That's what that 3rd CC says to me.
Yo, we got Nexy Crow with the Jazz Jackrabbit hype. Okay, I gotta reach out. I gotta reach for this one, okay, guys, before the game gets to a point where I can't talk anymore because the roaches are on the way. Did anyone in chat play Shattered Galaxy? Can I get a 1 in chat if you played Shattered Galaxy? Because that shit was my jam growing up. At the end of high school, I like sacrificed summer vacation so I could play Shattered fucking Galaxy.
I rented it, I think, because I remember the cover art and the name, but I didn't play for very long.
I don't think it was a game you could rent.
Shattered Galaxy?
Yeah, it's like a free download by Nexon.
Oh, maybe then I saw it on PC. I don't remember, but I remember the cover art because well, I guess I could Google it and make sure that I'm thinking of the right thing. Oh, you know what? Maybe it was Rogue Galaxy that I played. Yeah, actually, that was probably it.
Well, Rogue not here in this game, but Impact looking to hurt aLive just about as much as he would have. That's called a segue, guys. Nailed it. This is mech, though, and there's good and bad to this, right? Like, if he holds this initial attack, aLive will be fantastic afterwards. But I don't think he can. He just lost his tank. The Hellions aren't doing nearly enough damage. Only 1 Ravager's gone down, and the flood of Lings. Yeah, that's it. GG.
Whoa, Gear.
I was gonna say, Impact didn't even realize, but there was no wall up. He could have just walked straight to the main and killed production before it had a chance to get going too. Like, this was just so very much gonna go in his favor. So, great game out of Impact. Tie things up now, 1-1.
Pretty abrupt.
Oh, is that Apollo? It's been so long, buddy. How are you?
Just a little cuddle bug. So cute. Although it did wake me up in my limited time of sleeping.
Find you a girl that looks at Zombie Grub the way Apollo does, or you the way Zombie Grub, or fuck. Damn it! Your cat? No. I think I saw Blazer jump up behind you too. Is that about right?
That was Nugget.
Oh, was that Nugget? I saw 1 cat. I was taking a guess. I had a 1 in 4 chance of being right.
Baby and Nala both live outside now. Baby has been kicked out of the house.
Why?
I don't know. I guess she didn't. Well, because the new cats, they don't bully her, but they want to play. So I think she just got tired of it. So she just stays outside now. She looks like a new cat, man. Like, I don't like, she, is no longer diabetic. She lost weight. She no longer has knots in her fur. Like, our neighbors thought we got a new cat because she just looks so much healthier. She's 18 years old. She's never gonna die. She can live forever. Hey, Nugget.
I'm actually really surprised. Normally when I bring up Shattered Galaxy, it is such like a 1 in a million people actually played that game. I'm surprised there's so many 1s in chat.
Get back here.
Yo, okay, this is not gonna make sense. This is gonna sound like BS code. But for the dudes in chat that did know Shattered Galaxy, my proudest moment in my gaming career ever was when one of those, they had these events where they would give certain players like ridiculously overpowered units, right? It was like for this like patriotism thing or something, I don't remember. But you had these people with fake names like Abraham Lincoln and stuff, and they had like ridiculously overpowered units. And I had clouted behemoths. God, this sounds so stupid. Anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about. That were so good, I was actually able to take the POCs against like 1v3 these stupid overpowered units. I remember getting a compliment from the game dev at the time saying like, wow, your tanks are really fucking good. We didn't expect that. And I was just like, yeah. Like brushing the dirt off my shoulder, like, yeah. Never have I ever felt as proud doing anything. Not even when we hit like master against that one cheater in like Archon mode. Nothing has come close to that feeling of good in my gaming history than when I got complimented in that moment in Shattered Galaxy.
You know, I feel you on that. I feel you. Mine isn't gaming related, it's actually writing related, but I have a similar story. We should probably do the intros.
Yeah, you can tell us in just a moment as we get into map 3. Things are tied up 1-1. And in the upper right, it is the Blue Zerg Impact.
In the bottom left is the Red Terran. He is... My Insanity is alive.
I keep forgetting he's on My Insanity, actually.
I know, which is why I bother to mention it every now and then. He's gonna keep the clan tag. But yeah, I used to write fan fiction, and I used to write just a lot in general, because I would always roleplay with my friends. But, like, I wrote some fan fiction when I was really young, and it was actually quite good. Like, I've looked back on it and been like, damn, I actually could write. But I remember I got a review, because on fanfiction.net you'd get reviews, and that was like the highlight of your day. Like, kind of review.
I already like where this is going.
No, it's literally like there was an author. She was like older, and she really liked Final Fantasy VIII, and she would write like really long, epic stories, like fan fiction, and they were really, really good. And everyone loved it, and everyone knew who she was. So when she reviewed my story and said that she absolutely loved it, that was like a highlight year. That was like save the email an important folder type thing.
Your dad's trying to come in your room to tell you how proud he is of you, and you're like, Dad, not now. I've got an email.
Yeah, basically. I just, I was terrible though. I never updated. I had no idea where I was going with the story, but man, that was a good day.
Yeah, dude, we all got those moments where like we feel really proud of something like that we know nobody else is gonna care about.
Yeah. I miss I get like such a, such pleasure from getting reviews. Because they, like, if someone bothered to review you on fanfiction.net, it usually was a good review. Because they just, they wanted to, nerd out about the thing you were writing fanfiction of, but a little too nerdy. Yeah. I don't know what's happening in the background.
Okay, I was gonna ask if you could hear that. I was about to apologize, because, I'm not sure what's going on with the temperature. Somehow at 5:22 a.m. it's like 23 degrees in my room. I'm gonna assume the heating's broken again, and I had to open the door because I'm just like actually dying here. Not that 23 is really hot, guys, but it's like just sitting under the light plus the computer plus the natural temperature of the room. Just, ugh.
Yeah, I bet.
If that happens again and it's really loud, please let me know and I'll just shut the door and suck it up, because yeah, audio quality is very important to me, obviously. Rifkin's lifelong love for mech. Oh my god, he's right. I never thought about it. My mech roots go deeper than I realized. Actually, quick fun fact here before we get too far off the Shared Galaxy conversation, because I'll never be able to bring this up again. From what I understand, there's like that famous guy from League of Legends, right? Hotshot GG. He, holy Messin. He's not messing around. I've used that pun before. Damn it. Be original, Rifkin. Either way, that's a lot of bits. I don't know what to say, dude. Takes the top bits on the stream right now, too. Holy crap. Thank you for that generosity, man. Can we get some Tasha claps? Can we get some hearts if you don't have Tasha claps? Just like Messin, my dude. Thank you so much. Anyways, what was it? Oh, right. So quick note here. From what I understand, I don't know the guy, so I can never like ask him to confirm. But I heard that there was a player back in the day who's really famous in Shared Galaxy. Came and got GGP or whatever the fuck his name was. Apparently, that's he grew up to be Hotshot GG.
Oh, huh. That's kind of cool.
Okay, medevac is driven off here, and ooh, Lings don't quite trigger the Widow Mine, so the Queen's going to.
Take a hit.
Yo, I'm still trying to get over those bits though, for real.
Yeah, I wonder which part of those stories really appealed to him. He said, I need to get bits right now. Is it the Shattered Galaxy or was it the fanfiction?
Maybe he's just a big fan of the StarCraft that we're doing.
Yeah, or that in general.
You're like, no, Rifkin, I know it's about my fanfiction, okay? You're like trying to subtle brag, bring it up. I wonder if it's about the game or maybe the fan fiction.
I got like 50 reviews, okay, Rifkin? Like, that's a pretty big deal to me.
50 whole reviews! Oh my god!
The way you could tell, it was a really good story.
I just imagine like we're describing this as this like really cool thing. You've written this awesome backstory for like a character or something, and really it was just you shipping like two characters together.
So I was always I was always like gung ho about canon relationships, so I never did any of the weird, like the weirder stuff, I suppose. There's some pretty weird ships. VH. Anyway.
Actually, if you think about it, was that Naruto Shippuden was just like the longest shipping of him and Hinata, right? Like.
Oh man, I mean that's the only reason I ever paid attention to Naruto is that I wanted them to get together. I'm very much so about that canon hype, and if it takes forever, then it takes forever. And Naruto took forever.
As long as it gets to where it needs to go. All right, so we've got a decent amount of creep spread coming out of aLive, or excuse me, out of Impact. aLive hasn't really had to deal with it much to this point, and he probably won't as he continues to attack the 4th. But while this goes on, Impact has been getting his tech. He's not been forgetting anything, right? Like, he's already on his way to Spire, nearly done. He's got Baneling's and soon to have Baneling's speed too. Like, he shouldn't take any shit from aLive is what I'm trying to say. Maybe this base is a cancel and that's it, but he didn't have creep spread over here, so I don't think he was so worried about this base going down.
That kind of seemed like a freebie for aLive if he went over there, and he did. So, c'est la vie. Impact's gonna have to replant that. It's about halfway done, so a little, you know, hurts a little bit on the timing. But he just gets another one on the other 4th base anyways. And I'm not quite sure which base is going to be the norm, but I imagine just which one you started creep to is going to be the norm. And it took a little while for him to do that. aLive going quickly into a second factory, already, you know, on the way as he finishes up combat shields. And continuing the pressure with another drop.
And on creep, Impact can take any fight with relative ease. Off creep becomes a little bit difficult, so I like that he's not overextending the chase. The Corruptors are a really interesting touch, though. I actually have been a big fan of this move for a while. We just haven't seen it be popular. But the Corruptors have the natural base armor to sit on top of Marine Fire and actually kill Medivacs. I think they get the job of the Mutalists done in a lot more efficient ways. They just can't harass workers, which kind of sucks. But at the end of the day, you want to be removing the Medivacs more than anything else, and that's the job the Corruptors will fill, and so I really like that he's gone for these.
Yeah. At one point in history, it was even the thing to do. That was a pretty good one on my hit. But it flip-flops between mutas, corruptors, infestors, quick to hive. Like, there's a ton of different options for that mid-game. Actually, it's a pretty big map, and it has that natural expansion that is kind of on a cliff. So usually mutas are the way to go, but corruptors, they can do a job too.
Messing, but I love his response. Let's be real. It was the close-up of Apollo. We don't have any buff dudes or hot girls, but we got cats, guys. Cute little kitty cats that I'm so jealous of.
Yeah, and cats are the most important thing.
Alright, these Widow Mines, by the way, are going to get their shots off. This is really unfortunate, but they end up friendly firing a lot more than dealing damage to the Zerg. A lot of the Lings are moved, but so are the Medivacs. And that's where the Corruptors can start falling back, because as we see here, the Marines are just giving them tickles. Yeah.
Gonna retreat with the Banelings, gonna give those away. He is on his way to Hive in 2-2.
I really, it's unfortunate because what do you really do about the Corruptors, right? How different does this play out? Well, unfortunately, you know, you're not really looking to make Thors for this. You can't guarantee Widow Mines will touch them at all. And the Marines just don't deal the damage to melt them down, as we see. So this is why I really like Corruptors, and this is a good game to showcase that too, I feel.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say I like Corruptors. I like Impact going Corruptors because I fucking hate Corruptors.
They can, of course, be on buildings, and that's sometimes it's just as effective as mutas counterattacking. As you can see, it's exactly what I wanted to do here, but this isn't a lot of Corruptors, so I'm not really sure it's worth it to try.
Nah, he's gonna fall back. Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know if you've had this experience on your end, right? I do that thing, you get the planetary at your 4th, you put down like 4 or 5 turrets with it because you're like scared. Corruptors still come in and just don't give a flip about your turrets, and you're like, cool. Great, 5 turrets did like no damage and they killed my planetary with caustic frickin' spray. Tilt-inducing, man. Not Viper levels of tilt-inducing, but you know, just like 5 out of 10 on the Viper scale.
Oh boy.
Well, we have Liberator range finishing up here shortly. 3-3 for the Terran 2. I think aLive's, you know, all things that we've been talking nice about Impact 4, aLive's not in too bad of a spot himself. But with things like these Corruptors constantly picking off Medivacs, he's having a really hard time getting that army to this point where he can either drop freely or deal damage, because there's no parade pushing with fungals and corruptors, and there's no dropping when you constantly lose all your medevacs.
Yeah, that is a big problem. The medevac count is going to suddenly disappear if aLive keeps up these drops. Needs to be very honest about that and very easy to pay attention, basically. It's going to go for another Widowmine drop, and then it's just one more medevac potentially not in play for the final battle. But aLive is not pushing to a battle, really. He's got 4 now 5 bases. Impact is allowed to get into all of his upgrades, and Ultras, I suppose, or Broodlords, both. Some kind of Viper here. It's going to the late game, and if it goes to the late game, then aLive is probably the one hoping to take the defensive stance.
So I'm missing out on some of the spicy drama going on in chat today, but I'm catching some of the tail end of this stuff going on. We'll address this after the game's said and done, guys, but this attack should be able to cancel this base. Easy peasy. If it doesn't get a kill, that works too, I guess.
Well, that does work. But that's...
That one actually really hurts for aLive. That's one that he could have made at home, so now probably the main he'll have to float over later, with the consequence of that dying.
Well, it's a game where aLive, you know, not going for a big push down the middle of the map has certainly accrued a bank. Same for Impact. Impact tried that one push, but decided not to really commit to it, so he also has been accruing a big bank for these Ultras, whatever else he gets out of that hive. Losing a command center straight up, it sucks. It's a lot of minerals, but it's something that minerals is not a problem for aLive right here. He is pushing before there's a lot of Ultras. There's, in fact, only one on the way. Kindness Plating is done. That's not the timing aLive is hitting, but aLive is hitting before there's just Ultras in general, and Impact is maxed out.
This positioning is actually so good for the Liberator setup on this too. Even if there was a back attack, which a lot of Zergs have been good at doing nowadays, he's really covered for this. Now, unfortunately, he's not quite going to see these Infestors. That'll be a really beautiful pickoff. Oh, as he gets close to the Raven, he does, though.
Oh my god.
Not it. GSL caster?
Got it. Wait.
No.
That.
I'm not sure which one this one is. The barcode. I'm going to assume Crank's co-caster. Well, we have the lag out screen going on, guys. I would like to mention something here. I can't say much as far as like what you guys want versus don't want in stream, right? Everybody has different tastes objectively. We've built our channel to the success of talking about the games the way we do. And sure, that might not be your flavor. Maybe you don't like our off-topic banter. And that's fine for you to not like that. But the difference is, if you want to mention that you don't like it versus you want to complain and be whiny about it, that's the difference of like a timeout. That's the difference of like a ban. We literally have it in the channel rules that you can't do stuff like that. You know, when you join chat, you click that button that says okay that you completely didn't read the rules for. Literally says you can't do that. So, it's not about, oh, that was Crank?
Yeah, I was worried it was Crank. Like, as far as I remember, it was only a barcode.
I thought Crank was actually on this Crank account. I didn't realize he was on a barcode. But to finish off that point, guys, like, we're not trying to oppress your rights. We're just trying to have a good time doing what we do. And we don't want you to, I guess, oppress our rights. If that makes sense.
It's getting a little convoluted, but I think that everyone just knows.
Just don't be a dick. That's what it boils down. That used to be our only rule for a while, and then we had to make specific rules because people were being dicks.
It comes down to a point where, like, someone complains, and then you explain to them why their complaint isn't really valid, and they continue complaining. Like, eventually that's just going to be, like, okay, you're just bothering everyone. So, yeah, you are going to get timed out. So, the specific one, I guess maybe it's a little too soon, but I still stand by the whole, like, no, it's just, like, the person didn't really have a great point. This is the channel that's been built off of a lot of wacky things and off-topic discussions, so... If you don't know by that, not by now, then I'm actually not sure where you've been for the past 5 years of StarCraft.
Touch on that later. This attack, oh my god, that came so close to being dangerous for aLive. I wasn't actually sure if he's going to pull back in time. The Liberators weren't set up for so long. Like, Impact almost just, like, completely bust through that army. But aLive is starting to come back in a big way. 7 ghosts being produced right now. These are the sickest late game units. And I think what makes this so good is the Infestors were picked off. He's only got 2 now. There's actually not going to be that like chain of fungals that interrupts snipes like you're supposed to do as a Zerg player.
Yeah, Impact will probably want to go for a few more Infestors for sure. He has time. despite chasing that army back, he decides not to go for the actual kill.
All these turrets on the sensor tower look silly, but this is actually going to help provide SimCity coverage too. This is actually great.
Oh, missile turrets are kind of an underdeveloped tool, I think, for this supreme late game scenario. There's so many times where a couple missile turrets would have been the difference of, you know, Corruptors moving in and killing all your medevacs or
Vipers
killing all your
diving too deep.
Vikings. Yeah, Vipers too, for sure. They're very helpful.
Huh, that was interesting.
Yeah, don't expect those versus Terran too often. Biotan anyways. But
I thought it was just yanked a medevac. I mean, it still worked out for him, I guess. But Ling burrowed up here was finally removed.
Duh.
A lot of mules drop. Hang on, guys. Watch the income. 1,400. Okay, I was at 1,400. Give it a sec. So this one still has to be cleaned up too, by the way. So you can't land this command center, which kind of sucks. But 1,400 minerals becomes 3,200, 3,300, 3,500. It looks like 3,600 is the peak. Criminy. But as cool as it looks to drop all those mules, you guys got to keep in mind, Impact has been winning the income war for a while. We also have Burrowed Baneling's position on the field too, so maybe we'll see a couple of cool hits here and there. Luckily, though, Marauders are armored units. Ghosts are not classified, so there's not really a lot of bonus versus light that's going to be going on. Like, you're not going to walk over the Banelings with, like, your Ghosts and be in super immediate danger like you would with Marines.
We should have the upgrades coming down for these missile turrets too. I mean, the 3-3's been done for a while. The Gen base has not been used, and there still is quite a bank. I'm not thinking about it yet.
Well, the majority of the army's down here, and there's a split attack set up for the north, but that's a lot of turrets to cover. And there's a bit of a bluff here too. Impact doesn't quite know what the Terran player has defending. There could be a lot of Ghosts waiting to snipe those Corruptors if they get too close. But we know the Ghosts are down here.
I'm really scared of how... Yep, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to mention, we don't get to see this dynamic often, but if there were more Vipers and it wasn't the one, like, EMP could actually be really useful this late in the game.
Yeah, it can be. Always focus on snipes against the Ultras, but EMP's equally as useful. Unfortunately, Ultra's not really getting a lot done. It's planetary, but maybe just distracting because he's getting another command center with the Corruptors, perhaps.
Yep.
I was going to mention being very scared about aLive pushing out. That is when the army clumps up the worst, and that's when the fungals do come down on the Ghosts.
I didn't realize you set up, like... Okay, so I thought about all these command centers earlier, and I just assumed it'd be a bunch of extra orbitals, right? I really like this planetary. This completely denies Ling run bys through this pathway. And, of course, it's a good reinforcing point if he needs to fall back somewhere to fight in the middle of the map.
Yeah, aLive has played a very defensive game. I don't know if it's because the initial aggression didn't work out and he realized very quickly, like, oh, okay, this is going to be a long game where I'm going to die. This is what he was planning on Acolyte from the get-go. But it's game number 3, and it's going for definitely 20 minutes.
I'm glad we got to catch this, by the way, instead of sitting here waiting, like, twiddling our thumbs after casting Rogue vs. Classic, waiting for this series to still end, by the way. But update on the brackets is topside Rogue and Classic will be fighting off in one of the semifinals, and then the winner of this game goes on to fight against Zest. That Marauder run by was kind of, I don't know, kind of cool, I guess. It ate a lot of Banelings, distracted some of the army, and opened a huge...
long, gruesome scream
of the Marauder dying? Yeah.
He was like on fire. It lasted for like an extra 2-3 seconds. Kind of made the, the crazy dying sound. Anyways, whatever.
Ooh, EMP snipes the Infestor too. That's really great, but it does still walk into the Liberators. Hatchery gonna go down here. Impact is starting to not be able to afford these losses. Early on, it was a little bit more frivolous and easy for him because he was dealing a lot of damage too. Now he's just constantly on the defense and constantly losing units. And the base, and so many Banelings get wasted on the Marauders. But at the same time, a lot of the Ghosts go down for aLive, so this is not a cheap engagement whatsoever.
No.
There's that sick fungal we've been looking for, but Cloak goes into play, and there's no detection! He's manually detonating Banelings trying to catch the Ghost, but it's not working.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate. He could have absolutely torn down the Ghost without losing any Ultras. Instead, at least there was a decent trade at the end there, but just to say the Banelings rolling into Marauders like that isn't too bad. The Marauders were all clumped up. They definitely should have been kited back, pulled back. And of course, the Ghosts should have been covered against the infested fungals. But I mean, what are you going to do? You can't bring missile turrets to the front line. And Ravens are too hard to control in the front lines too. You just got to keep on scanning and hoping they don't shark attack you.
Yeah. Folks asking in chat about do you really need Liberator range in TVZ? And the answer I would actually say is yes. It's not like a crazy upgrade like Stim that you need, but you got to consider, like, you don't want the Corruptor sniping off the Liberators. You know there's been Corruptors in play all game. The further back those set up, the deeper the Corruptors have to go in for them. The closer the Vipers have to get to abduct. So I think it's a really good upgrade. I don't think it's one that he needs like Stim, but it's a really good upgrade.
Yeah, I think a lot of people sometimes do actually just hold off on it because they think it might not be too useful, and certainly there's been games you've personally played that you just like it's a lot of money. This game though, aLive has always been banking, and as I mentioned, the engineering bay upgrades. I guess the Liberator range is also supposed to be on the way.
Dog.
Still no engineering bay upgrades. Dog,
we might get a nuke. Actually, I would love to see building armor. I think it would be really cool, considering how many turrets he's been laying down the map, right? But, and the, I guess, dependency on planetaries. But falling back from this, he's got so many ghosts that if he controls this perfectly, around two planetary fortresses at least, this should be an easy hold for him. Because with the banelings removed, those ultras have to turn tail and run.
Yeah. They didn't get on top of the ghosts. There was no fungals getting on top of the ghosts. If the ultras continued to run in, they would have all been sniped down. They're a little too slow without that support.
That one little snipe was like, I don't know, almost BM it felt. But this is so cool. I love the way this game is shaping up. I don't know if we'll actually get to see a nuke. Obviously, it'd be super cool if we did. Just it's such a rarity in StarCraft 2. But man, nuke or otherwise, I like where this game's gone. Ghost, Corruptors, Ultralisks, like this is my dream TVZ to watch happen. Even though it's not mech, it's still pretty sick.
Okay, there's a pretty scary fungal ready to go on the front lines, and Impact is looking to use it and abuse it.
I want to say maybe though, like aLive's been really good about scanning. He's been really good about even EMPing the infestors. They could easily just right-click down. You know, like aLive has been on top of things this game, and of course he's got this magnificent bank, right? So like even if he loses and can't expand, he still has money to work with. I'm so on the aLive hype train right now. I'm buy aLive, buy.
Okay. Oh, he's like on the clan? Like that's weird.
Out that door, baby, bye.
Bye flash. Okay, anyways. I'm actually still a little worried for aLive. So he's been doing a decent job covering the army with scans, catching those fungals that could be literally the decision-making move.
Oh my god!
But if he ever is forced to push out, if he thinks he can push out, that's when the Zerg army is really going to be quite powerful. Where are the snipes? He didn't actually send them down. Now he's trying to. There's no fungals. There's a fungal.
Yeah, it actually cuts out half the snipes, and he was depending on those. If he snipes the Overseer, by the way, he would have no problem with this whatsoever. But 16 Mules was kind of funny to watch while all of this went down. Bit of a waste now. But there's the EMP. There's the EMP catching the Infestor. I love this. You just don't see Terran players use EMP for Zerg most of the time.
I really hope that Impact leaves most of his Zerglings as Zerglings in this next fight.
Yes,
I mean, Banelings are all well and good. Yeah, and if they're gonna crash into something that's clumped up, it doesn't matter if they're literally tanks, you know, rogue, right? Like they can do okay against even those beefy units. But I think Lings are gonna be more effective against Ghosts and Marauders, and in fact, that's a lot of the time where we see the Zerg player take the lead after taking an okay fight. They make it into a great fight because Ghosts and Marauders actually cannot take on mass Lings.
Right, and that's where I'm almost wishing we'd start seeing some more Marine production, right? 14 at a time, 10 Marauders. Like, this is so sick. aLive just exhausted his bank, almost as a Protoss player warping in units, right? The thing, though, I'm missing most from this, medevacs. Really severely lacking a lot of medevacs. There's 5 in total, but as we can see, the ghosts from the previous fights still haven't even been healed up. This Infestor here is going to get caught, hopefully, so the turrets finish up. But not before the army starts moving in. aLive really wants to deny this gold base. Oh, this could be the sickest. Well, he doesn't have enough for a fungal, but the Infestor is still there. It was a cool potential move. Drop the top left or a run by, whatever it is, does get up here.
One Ultra, unless it derps on the mineral lines, is usually a very effective anti-drop defense. There we go. And the attack at the front line, once again around that gold base occurs. There's no fungals in the back, though, that caught those.
Look at this ghost, though. That positioning is so far away from anything that could possibly touch him.
My God.
Ultras just disappeared. You're like, what happened? It just went extinct.
Yeah, they disappeared pretty quickly. He still has a couple snipes left over, so the backup Ultras do need to run away and more links to be made. They both have depleted their bank, but especially with that last fight, aLive took a more cost-effective engagement.
Well,
he's been doing it the entire game. Look at the resources lost, but especially with that last one.
Where's the structures left? They have 4 command centers and orbitals died, and he's had plenty more. Like he's been building so many extra command centers this game, and he still has these ones back here. Getting to these new bases is not a problem. It's just about trying to actually mine off them.
Oh, I do. Okay,
Link run by ZvT kind of nice.
I was gonna say, like, something besides one big attack maybe could have gone better for Impact. He's had very minimal run-bys, obviously no mutas to fly into the natural. He's let aLive just have that left side base. I think maybe there's one attack on there, and that was kind of it. Now focusing entirely on the right side,
yeah.
Just a direct engagement over and over again. No distraction tactics, just hoping to get that one fungal. Realizing he's out of fungals, remakes 7 infestors.
I love this though, because like the composition choices out of both have been deflecting. This is almost like watching a fighting game where like one player's blocking perfectly and the other guy just like keeps wailing away at him, and then it turns it around and then the other guy's blocking, like, and no one's really doing game-ending damage. But the key thing here is Impact has been slowly worn down over this game. And again, look at the resources lost, look at the bank that's currently in play. The fact that Impact's no longer even able to supply max out as he's capped at 160, this is aLive finally getting that bend, turning it into a break.
Yeah, he is. Now, it could all go wrong with one good fungal on a bunch of ghosts.
I don't know, because
way back there.
Even if this is like a phenomenal fight, right? aLive loses everything. His production is so sick. Need to remind you, it's like 14 Marauders and 10 Marines at a time, or maybe those numbers are reversed. But the point is, like, replacing this army is not an issue for him, I feel.
Well, it's time. We've seen a lot of games where there is a very disastrous fight where the ghosts are fungaled, and then links flood into the production, and it doesn't matter that the Terran player has 3,000 minerals.
I love that energy battle. Each snipe was met with a transfuse, and that Ultra refused to die for so long.
Yeah. But Impact does not take the greatest fight. There's no momentum here. He's actually also being dropped. He loses a base that did have some minerals left over. aLive is definitely going to take this game at this point, up 70 supply.
This has been such a wild ride of a sick game, but yeah, sorry, 16 Marines, 8 Marauders, 4 Medocs, 5 Widowmines to like barely 5 units. Like Impact is just out of it, I feel, at this point, which makes me so hyped because aLive has been fluctuating a lot too lately, and I'm really glad to see him doing well again. But this was such a sick game out of Impact. I feel like Impact did play this flawlessly to a point. You know, I like the early game Corruptors a lot. He stopped all attacks, but like this game late, this is aLive's wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Impact didn't recognize that aLive was playing the late game quick enough. GG.
GG.
aLive very quickly was like, oh, mid-game's not working out for me. Let's build 4 extra command centers. And Impact didn't seem to play too well against that.
It wasn't even his fault. He built, like, because he had the extra planetaries, right? Guarding ramps and stuff. That guy had so much, but I already have an invite right away, guys. We're going to play the ads. I guess poor Crank, who lagged out of that game, has just been locked and loaded in the other lobby. So we'll see you guys here in 2 minutes. We'll get into the first semifinals of what I'm assuming is going to be Rogue versus Classic.
Mm-hmm.